Yo, my bad, y'all. I had too much stuff I had to delete, storage and stuff. All right, Yoruba, Santa, archangels, all interchangeable, right? Magic, right? Voodoo, witchcraft, right? All interchangeable within religions. That's not all. That's not all. Modern day tarot cards, modern day magic squares, and a lot of magical practices come from the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which is a branch off of the Freemasons, right? Which they became their own secret society, okay? And those things come from that society, right? That I just named that list of tarot cards, magic squares, and other magical practices, right? And those come from, they openly say that we get our information from the Kabbalah, right? Which would be the esoteric version of the Torah, right? And check Bobby Hemmett on that information, okay? Because that's deep divine knowledge about the esoteric versions of these texts. For the Bible will be Gnosticism. For the Torah will be Kabbalah. For the Quran will be Sufism. Right? You can argue dates, you can argue semantics, all you want. But at the end of the day, these magical practices existed before Greece. All the stuff on the Egyptian walls, magic spells, even Babylon, they talk about that. So these things, and natives and guys, with these dates on civilizations, there's already been information out there that they try to scrub, okay? And one example is Virginia Steen McIntyre, PhD geologist, okay? And she lost her credentials to do any work in geology any further because she wouldn't change her dates of her findings to fit the evolution narrative, okay? So what did she find? And you could look her stuff up online, all right? Because none of her shit is in textbooks or literature because they like to lie about shit. Because they have a common narrative that they have to fulfill, which is, some Africans fucking left Africa and fucked some Neanderthals, and that's how your ass got here. And that's their fucking version of history and science. From single-celled organisms somehow turning into plants and animals and you and fucking everything. Right? Things that aren't experimentally proven, yet they call it science and it doesn't fit the scientific method. Yet they're gonna call me stupid and say this shit I'm talking about pseudoscience when it's proven fucking facts. Hating ass motherfuckers. Keep on hating. Anyway. What were we talking about? Tarot cards. Hermetic orders. Boom. Where did this stuff come from? Virginia Steen McIntyre. She went to a site in Mexico. I think it's called Nuaplico. I don't remember the name of the place. Okay. And she proved, using the scientific method, she used 4 different types of testing systems. Okay. Including testing the volcanic ash, right? Zircon Zircon crystal, right? Zircon crystals, experiments, and the camel bones. There were markings on camel bones in Mexico. Like, when's the last time a camel was in Mexico? How the fuck did the camel get over there to the Middle East? Right? So she tested these bones and this site, the things around it, and it came out to 250,000 years ago. People were in Mexico, okay? And civilized people, right? What they would call civilized, right? But we got to remember tribalism, right? Which is what it really was. It was always tribes and shit, right? It was always levels. So there'd be people who are advanced. We're talking like Mayan level where they're building shit, right? And then we're talking about savages who were just like cannibals and living low, right? What we would call savages, right? So there is every level and everything in between. Okay? And just to talk real quick about how the camels get to the Middle East, all right? You have to literally reprogram everything they fucking taught you. Okay? Because just get on the plane, and you'll see there's no lines on the ground, on the map at all. There's 0 lines. They drew all those lines. Okay? They drew all those lines on the map. Deeper than that. Look at a map. Even the ones they'll give you, right? Which isn't even true proportionally or none of that shit. But look at it. Africa is connected to Asia. That's one landmass. Asia is connected to Europe. That's one landmass. Russia connected to Alaska when it freezes over. It's one landmass, y'all. North America connected to South America. They made the Panama Canal. Everything besides Antarctica is connected. Even Australia used to be connected. It's called Zealandia. Look up Zealandia, the 8th continent, y'all. Africa and Australia was connected. Okay? So there was people of the earth, and that's fucking it, y'all. They drew fucking lines, and now they make y'all fight over race and religion and motherfucking... Oh, they make you fight over anything, bro. Like, oh, what's your favorite sports team? Whatever the fuck. Oh, I like blue, I like red. They literally make you fight over everything. So, we really have to drop these narratives of the shit that they fucking created that isn't even real. Okay? Magic, that's scary. Witchcraft. Witchcraft is just a negative connotation of magic. Meaning magic isn't bad. But you can do bad with it. Just like being Christian doesn't make you good. There's something called the Dark Ages. Okay? People killed people over these things. And they still do. To this day. But that doesn't mean every fucking Christian or Jew or Muslim is a bad person. They just worship a fucking bad deity that, you know, he'll teach you some bullshit. You know, and then you'll act holier than thou. Say, oh God, I'll do this for God, and then act like a whole snake in real life and fucking do fuck shit, and then think it's all good. You know, God's gonna save me. Meanwhile, you don't even know that you're gonna be the judge of your own life when you die. So you better forgive yourself. That's the real shit. And truth be told, most people are scared of their own reflections. That's the fucked up part. Cause you really talking that truth and shit, if people get mad, you just pointing out parts of them. And they don't like their reflection. So they get all mad, and then fucking the low vibrational energies come out of them, which is what really Satan is and all that shit. They're like, alright? So magic is the study of nature. Okay? Because you are the elements. Alright? Your soul is fire. Okay? You're 80 or 70% water, which is really plasma, or the 4th state of water, right? And the 4th state of matter, right? You're of earth. Breathe air, which is really life force energy, which is really ether, which is really energy. Right? Mana, prana, chi, ashe, See what I'm saying? People change up terms over time, and these concepts people already know. Okay? So you are tapped into the divine. You're connected to source like this. Okay? So whatever power you view a God having, you have those same powers. Okay? Because the X-Men and all these motherfucking superheroes and comics, all that shit they fucking, you think they made up in their mind because they're so creative? No. Those are the power of the gods. Like, a lot of them, the Orishas and from different cultures around the world, right? And fucking, because these dudes aren't that creative. The bloodlines, those bloodlines, they say it's 13, but it's been a lot of bloodlines because the conquerors like Alexander the Great and Attila the Hun and all these dudes, they bloodlines, they didn't die out. They became the elite, and over time from different places around the fucking earth, they fucking throughout time merged, right? So these bloodlines were created in a lab. Soulless beings. They weren't created in a lab specifically, the ones today. The bloodlines. The Rothschilds straight up say, oh, we're connected to King Nimrod, straight up from Babylon. So we're talking about, I'm not even making this shit up. They say it out their own mouths. You just have to discern it to see what they're talking about. Okay? Because the ones who are overseeing the fucking operation of keeping the earth at a low frequency and people of the earth on a low frequency, those beings made a group of people that they could control and run their plans. Alright, and throughout time, that bloodline has spread throughout society too. So some of us might have that shit. That's unavoidable at this point. What's important is that your soul chose whatever vessel you're in for a reason. To learn the lessons you need to learn to help push you forward to do what you have to do in this realm, in this time. Okay? So, we need to get out of this spookism. That shit is scary. Oh my god, this shit is scary. No, it's not. You're scary. You're being a bitch and you need to stop. Okay? Because they put fears in your heart. Alright? And this is your cousin telling you, chill. Chill out. Okay? Just relax. They've lied to you many times throughout history for thousands of years because you're an embodiment of your ancestors. You are an ancestor. Okay? You are an ancestor. You're just alive right now, in this time, in this realm. Okay? Understood? Okay, ancestor? So I need you to chill for a minute because there's other ancestors and you are an embodiment of that too. All of that makes you up because of your DNA and all that information inside you. All that cosmic history and that time and all those lifelines and all that shit. And you're here now to break all the curses that were set in the past. And this is the time to do it. So we got this. We're going to get on our magic. What is magic? How does it help me? You can use stuff for bad, and putting information out there, you only hope that people don't use it for bad things, because you got a lot of people just putting love spells on people and doing a lot of weird shit. But you have to be warned that this shit isn't a game. Okay, you will really face your karma for your shit. Alright, because people tried witchcraft on me before, a lot. And the problem with that, with me specifically, is my oversoul. And who the fuck that is. Alright? Because you have to summon him before and after a fucking spell. You gotta ask permission. And you think my oversoul is gonna let someone do a spell on me? No. What's gonna happen is that's just gonna get reversed back on your ass. And people have to learn the hard fucking way. Alright? And I don't like telling people who I am because then they act weird. And then now they're gonna know, oh, like, you know, who I am, and then they're gonna try and get favoritism to get the judge to view shit a certain way. But the spirits and the gods see shit that I don't, and other people don't. They see all that shit that happens behind closed doors. So you can't fake the funk as much as you try. Okay? This shit takes inner work. You gotta purify your heart. Okay? You have to stop that conflict between your heart and your mind inside of you and start tapping into that real God energy and that real God voice. Okay? Because all these energies inside you are the gods they're talking about, and with magic you can enhance these fucking powers. And you don't even need none of this shit. All this I'm telling you with the crystals and the magic, you don't even need that to reach none of this shit. Okay? Seriously, you really don't. But it helps, alright? Because that's your powers. Okay? And I want people to not be scared of things just because someone else told you. Do your own research, okay? And empower yourself. Because these things can help you. Because people get spiritually attacked all the time and don't even know it. In their dreams, by people. Because Satan, he's a bitch. And he just hides, alright? Because he's a bitch. Like, there's no explanation. Like, you know, when you're not a bitch, it's hard to, like, put yourself in the mind of a bitch and be like, oh my god, why does he think or act that way? I don't really know. But you could fucking peep a bitch ass move and be like, oh, that's a bitch ass move. I know that. So Satan, he hides, right, in people. So, you know, like, when you're on a path to source, or what you would call God, that's when Satan's gonna knock on your door, okay? So if Satan's not knocking on your door, that means you're not doing the right thing, okay? But remember, Satan is a bitch, okay? So what does he do? He's a low vibrational energy that's gonna make you think low vibrational shit, try and do low vibrational shit. He will attack the loved ones around you, and you wonder why. Oh, why my girl attack me? Why my man's attack me? Why my moms and my pops? Why they said this or that? Why they tripping? Why they bugging out, doing all this? You're gonna have to master your emotions, your energies, your powers, because you are those things. You are those things that people are worshiping. You are that God. You are that. Okay? The kingdom of God is within you. You could be better than me. All that shit. Okay? The greatest spiritual leaders, right? That people look up to, like Jesus and Buddha. All these men saying that that shit's inside of you. And that's the information they try to take away from you, because the system only works when you buy into it. So you have a group of intelligent, spiritually in tune people. They're not going to need none of that shit. And they're going to be self-efficient enough to not need what the fuck is provided. So shit's going to collapse. And they don't want that. But this is the golden age, y'all. It's the end. This is the end of their contracts. And we will get into that with religion. What contracts did they sign with the aliens? 6,000 years. 6,000 years, y'all. It's over. The end times, the rapture. We'll get into that. But for now, that's a brief description on crystals and magic and why it matters. Alright? Have a good night, y'all. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your time. And thank you for giving me your time. Peace.